Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Triotonic podcast coming back at you. My name is Jose Rodriguez, and I'm here with my co-host,
Andrew
what's your last name?
Carrero.
Okay.
Damn, getting all up in my government name and shit.
My PI background came out a little bit.
Where were you on April 22nd?
As a matter of fact, I know you weren't home. That's why I'm asking you. But, yeah, guys, so it is Sunday, the day after the...
Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday night, fight night that was Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. I know everyone's been talking about it online on YouTube and stuff like that, but I just wanted to go over it because there were some amazing developments aside from the fight. Did you order the fight?
I did not order the fight.
You did not order the fight? Sorry, I didn't mean to narc you out again.
Yeah. You just throw me under the bus. But
a double sip real quick.
Yeah. Just a quick
nervous
moment
double
of silence. But yeah, so I went on to
Don't say the site.
I'm not. I was gonna say a certain website.
It's okay. I mean, I could always bleep it out, so it's all right.
I didn't say it.
I got you.
All right, so a certain website where I was able to access most of the event, and then some bullshit out of nowhere, like right before the main event. I just walk over to my computer because I stopped hearing shit from my TV. It was like frozen.
Yeah.
And it says, "You have been kicked out of."
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
said
what?
the name.
Oh,
it's all right. I'll beep it out. Yeah,
I got so caught up in the story.
But yeah, so you got kicked out right when the main event started, right?
Yeah. So what exactly happened? Like
that happens to me.
No. I mean, what happened in the fight?
No, I know, but I'm saying first, let's talk about that.
Okay.
That's got my attention more right now. That happened to me during the Miocic and Ngannou fight. Luckily, I'm a pirate of many crusades.
You're a resourceful pirate.
Yeah, I've sailed the waters many times, so I found another stream in time for the knockout of that fight. But sometimes they just don't want to get in trouble, and they have, like when the heat is on.
Heat is on.
When it's like, like that song, "Drop It Like It's Hot."
Yeah.
Don't pull over.
Yeah.
Just keep on driving. Oh, pull over. I mean, when he's like, pull over and get out of the car in the song.
He says that?
Yeah, when he's driving. Oh no, is it Riding Dirty that he says that?
Are you talking about 99 Problems?
One of the songs he says, if a cop's following you, pull over and get out of the car.
I thought you were talking about that part in 99 Problems when Jay-Z does the voice of the cop, like the southern cop.
No.
And he's like, "Step out of the car."
Yo, but actually, speaking of cops, you know what I
thought
found
you were
out today?
I thought you were gonna say Jay-Z.
No, you know what I found out today?
What?
You know who was originally supposed to be the two starring roles in Departed?
Who was that? I remember hearing this.
Yeah, it was Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt was supposed to play Matt Damon's role.
Oh shit!
That could have been really good.
I think Matt Damon's a good actor.
No, Matt
though.
Damon did great in that, but Brad Pitt said that he didn't take the role because he felt too old. That's kind of bullshit. But I mean, I think he didn't want to be on the same screen as Leo yet. Because
I mean, they
could
did
outshine him.
But they did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. It took so long to get them together on a screen, and they had many opportunities. But yeah, anyway, back to the fight. Little Brad Pitt detour real quick.
Yeah. Yo, wait. One more quick Brad Pitt
Yeah.
detour. You ever see that movie? I forget the name of it exactly, but he's like a crazy serial killer, and this David Duchovny's in it, and this other chick, and they're driving, and he's like a hitchhiker, and they pick him up, and he like terrorizes them. I think Juliette Lewis is in it too. I forget the name.
I've never seen it. Yeah, look it up real quick. And in the meantime, I'll drop another Brad Pitt anecdote since we made it a little thing. He also was supposed to play the role of Neo in Matrix. Did you know that?
Nah.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Neo, and he turned it down. He also turned down the role of Jason Bourne.
California is the name, but with a K.
You know what? I was going to say Californication because that David Duchovny show. But
yeah.
Nah, it's not. Yeah, so...
Great movie, though. You should check that out, everybody.
Yeah, I'll check it out. You check it out, too, everyone that's listening.
Everyone in TV land.
Yeah, so back to the fight. These Triller events, you've seen it before, right? You watched the last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have like performers, and I see like like musical performers. They have like other types of events like real boxing, like not amateur boxing. This time they added a Russian slap fight event.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, and then they had
Ric Flair was there.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, Ric Flair and Pete.
Yeah,
Davidson.
Pete Davidson was going around like interviewing people. It was pretty funny. Pete Davidson could be a little awkward. So sometimes there were some like awkward moments where
I think
it's
he
like,
purposely does that.
I don't know. It was more like jokes not hitting the mark. You know what I mean?
Like when he was talking to Ben Askren, and he was like, "I think he's Askren for it." He's like, "Oh, I wrote that all night."
Yeah, but a lot of people are hating on that, and it's mostly like, I guess, like purists of like the sports, that like boxing, things like that. But I mean, it was really entertaining to watch up until the main event. Like I had a.
Oh yeah, so you still got to tell me what happened.
Yeah, so when the main event came on, I just could tell when Ben Askren came into the ring, he just looked like a lot. The walk up to the fight, you can tell a lot. You know what I mean? Like when Anderson Silva was fighting Chris Weidman, and he just like stayed in the tunnel for like mad long, praying and shit. You knew something good wasn't gonna happen, and his fucking leg snapped in half that fight. You know what I mean? And it was just like he was like praying.
Was that the one when he brought it back and it was like broken?
Yeah, that's what that fight. If you look at that fight and go back to like when they were walking out, he like crouches down in the tunnel and he stays there for like a minute and a half, like praying or something. I don't know what, but
doing some of that voodoo.
Yeah, but then Ben, when he was coming out there, I forgot which commentator said it, but he's like, Ben Askren's got that Vince Vaughn body going on.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and so this is my thing. Look, I predicted Ben to lose, but I thought it was going to be a decision. What a lot of people don't realize is like, yeah, he'll fight an MMA fighter, but Ben Askren competed his whole career at like 170. He is about like 185, walking 190, let's say even 200. But Jake Paul is really big. He's a big guy. He's like, I think like 6'2" or something, 6'4".
He trains like consistently
and
too.
He not only that, he's big. He's like, I think like 210, 205, something like that. He's a really big guy. And yeah, I mean, he's athletic. They used to wrestle in high school. Or
I know the other one, the older one, is definitely.
He's even bigger.
Yeah,
he's even bigger because when he came into the ring afterwards, he was like
towering over him, right?
Yeah, he was. He's really big. But he actually hasn't won a fight yet.
Ooh.
His brother's undefeated.
He fought that British.
Robinson.
He fought a British YouTuber.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot his name at the moment, but he beat him. He knocked out Ben Askren in like 2 minutes, maybe even less. And Ben Askren hit it like a ton of bricks. He just fell, just like Nate Robinson. And then when he stood up, the ref ended it. A lot of people were saying it was like a quick ending, and things like that. But I mean,
kind of
bullshit.
Was
done. Yeah, he was done. And then now people are saying that Ben Askren threw the fight just for the money.
I mean, that's.
I mean, who would blame him? I mean, 500. He made 500,000. That's $500,000. That's more than he made in one fight in his career. He used to make like 200K, 250. But
that's crazy.
It is,
but
that's
really not that much.
It's not that much. But the thing is, these fighters fight like 3 times a year, and the thing is, they it's not like a football game. You know what I mean? They're really in there for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? They're putting a lot on the line.
Is there any type of union that they have?
They can't have a union. I mean, they want to make a union, but this is the thing: when you have a union and you have people at the top, like they have to kind of want the union for the younger guys. But the problem is, they're making so much money they don't give a shit. So it's like you're never gonna get Conor McGregor making $20 million. Give a shit about the younger guys, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then on top of that, like they're all over the place. Like it's not a sport. Like there's so many things that people want to compare it to, like football, basketball. These guys are like have to be places like all week. You know what I mean? Like they have like practice schedules that, like fighters, they're pretty much free to do it. Like yeah, sure they do train, but they're in control. They don't have to like do media all week and like they don't have all these things like.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're at that level, if you don't do it, it's only detrimental to yourself, right?
Yeah, but also the thing is, when an owner pays a basketball player, let's say $80 million, they know that they're gonna be in the court for 82 games. A barring injury, things like that.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Some of these fighters might fight one fight card. So why is the UFC responsible for putting them up with a huge salary?
It's kind of like
it's
kind of like a 1099 versus like a W2. Like NFL is like W2.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And some of these fighters, they cannot train when they're in the lower levels, and then just show up for the fight, and you just made 50K, 60K. Like if you're a mid-level fighter, and what work did you put in? As opposed to like, let's say a Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Like that in the NBA, 2 practices
traveling
a day.
all over the country all year.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to be certain matches on certain, like they can book the date they want to fight. You know what I mean? Like basketball players don't have that luxury.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's night and day. But of course I want the fighters to get more money, and people hate that I take that stance, but it's just you can't ignore that.
I mean, if you from a fighter's standpoint, like okay, so you're getting like 200,000 a fight, but like at any point, like that could end.
Yeah. No, and. Being a fighter, too, you have so much time to, like...
Not to cut you off, but has there ever been any career-ending in-ring injuries, like, throughout UFC's lifetime?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Like, people that get arm-barred or get, like, knee-barred. They'll have an injury, like, where their knee gets torn because of a knee bar.
Oof.
And you just don't hear about it. They get hurt, and they try to come back, but they go to, like, a lower-level promotion, and it just doesn't work, and they just disappear. But, yeah, there's been tons of career-ending injuries, concussions.
Yeah.
Concussions. Overall, I think the event was awesome for Triller. And, I mean...
Did you see Snoop Dogg singing Thriller? No. With, like, Triller? He was like, it's the Triller.
No, I didn't see that.
It's hilarious. Bro, how fucked up was Oscar De La Hoya last night?
That was one thing. To be honest, the reaction today has been crazy. I thought it was hilarious, and it was very entertaining. But there's only so much to be said, like, when you're having fun at the expense of someone.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, maybe he's fucked up today, too, and he's in an addiction issue that he's not going to give a shit. But, eventually he's going to look back at that stuff and be like, damn, I made a jackass out of myself.
Exactly. It's so unprofessional.
And then that can, like, lead you to more psychological damage, lead you further down the hole of addiction. I hope he's okay.
Isn't he about to fight, though?
I mean, you could just say that. And if you're him, he could just be like, I'm coming back.
No, I thought there was something scheduled. I remember seeing on Ryan Garcia's Instagram.
They float stuff around. I think they want him for the Triller thing. Or maybe he's going to try to do a Golden Boy Triller, because he did the same. He tried to do a MMA promotion, Golden Boy MMA.
I remember
and it
hearing
just
about
crashed
that.
and burned after one event. He could try to do a Triller event,
What do you think is like the difference between like the good low level, promotions and then like say like a Golden Boy promotion?
In boxing?
No, in the MMA.
Oh, but they didn't really exist. Golden Boy, they just did one event.
Yeah, so because they sucked.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like, what's the difference in like what's the X factor you think between like a good promotion at that level and what he tried to put out?
The difference is just
the quality,
consistency, and I mean the fights weren't too good.
Were there any guys that you had?
There
seen
were people
in other
that they said
promotions?
that weren't getting paid on time. You know what I mean?
Oh,
big issues like that. Like he just had no business making an event. He kind of like rented out a VFW and threw a show one time. That's kind of like that's kind of like what he did.
Froggy Boy Promotions.
Froggy Boy MMA. That's kind of what Oscar did. And he had like a few good fighters. He had like what's his name, Tito Ortiz and Liddell, right? That's who fought.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And Liddell just got fucking iced out.
That was in the. Did you watch the 30 for 30 about Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was in that. And how much of a disgrace that fight was and shit.
Yeah. That's the chapter that shouldn't have happened. It should have happened years earlier, but it didn't happen because Tito was ducking him. But
in that documentary though, they say like his chin just like was non-existent after like the slightest hit and he was done.
Yeah, that shows that you have damage in your brain. Your brain, like, it's like a computer. When it starts getting really bad, any little crashes, it'll just shut off. And that's pretty much what your brain does when you get knocked out.
Yeah,
it shuts itself off to
like
protect yourself from damage.
It's a hard reset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you don't feel it and you don't remember the trauma.
Or like that snoring sound, like that shit. That's
and they go to sleep.
Yeah,
they go night.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like how can someone say that? Oh no, you're probably not doing that. Like you're obviously doing damage.
You know, Jake Paul actually came out and said that he's suffering from CTE already, like
Jesus.
early onset. But I mean, you know, it seems like he's trying to be like too much of a boxer, but he
Yeah.
did wrestle all his life. So
Yep.
they were high level wrestlers, him and his brother.
Does he have like a tiger or anything now?
No, nah. But you do get CTE from. I know a lot of wrestlers that. I mean, I don't know them, but I know of a lot of wrestlers that have suffered CTE. You know, that go to college.
That Harvard guy who was responsible for that big book, I forget what it was, but he was originally
Mark Zuckerberg.
no,
Oh, okay.
he was originally in WWE, and then he wrote that crazy book about the CTE, and that's like what made it like really come to the public's awareness.
You're not talking about Marcelo.
No,
No,
what's
I
his
mean,
name?
what's his
He's
name?
like a white. He looks like a white preppy dude. Let me see if I could find him.
Oh, gee. Yeah. So, I guess aside from that, like, you know, a lot of the things I didn't turn the timer on. I don't know how long we're going for.
Yeah, it doesn't
A
matter.
big mistake. Yeah, but I guess it doesn't matter. I guess, but our hosting services won't be happy with us. And as a matter of fact,
Christopher Nowinski.
okay.
There we go. Look, this is him.
Christopher Nowinski. Okay.
You don't remember it?
No.
You don't remember him?
No.
Did you watch wrestling like during
Chris
the?
now.
Did you watch wrestling during the Attitude Era?
Nah. I mean, I cut off pretty much like when the fixed job in Montreal. You know when
The Montreal screw
The
job.
Montreal screw job. Yeah.
The fixed job in Montreal.
Yeah. When
the union work site in.
when you know when they screwed Bret Hart out of the title. That's around that time I dropped
Yeah.
off. You know.
Yeah, I stopped it in like '99.
Yeah. But yeah. I guess I don't know. Why were you asking me about wrestling?
Oh, because he was a wrestler.
Oh,
This
okay.
guy.
Yeah.
I remember him. He was in like Shane McMahon's like fucking posse or some shit. They were all like the Greenwich. They used to come down to the ring with the fucking sweaters tied around their neck and shit.
Oh my god. What would you say if you had that job? Like you have to write storylines for wrestling. Like that's a pretty good job. I wonder how much they got paid.
I'm sure they got paid a pretty penny. Yo, weren't you the one who said like that you also used to like with the wrestling figures like write storylines and shit?
Oh, bro. I had a binder.
Yeah, same
and
thing.
I would make a fight card. And I'd write down who was the champion and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did the same shit.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I never even like thought to ask anyone that because it was when I was so young. But I'd have like events like that I planned and
like pay-per-view events and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd just have them all there. Then I'd like know who has to fight the next night.
Yeah. It was like
You had
this whole like wrestling promotion in your head.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, the wrestling rings. They did a good job with those at one
The
point.
Jack specific ones,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. They did a good job with those. You did want to buy every one that was available, you know?
They had the movable joints and shit.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny? We talked about wrestling on my other podcast. I'll shout my podcast out. It's called Words Are Tough with my friend David Diakendo. But we talked about wrestling, too. We were talking about Dark Side of the Ring and things like that.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of like naturally segues from MMA because we just started talking about wrestling, too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But, maybe it's the CTE.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
that's the okay.
It was the Chris Nowinski.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, as far as that, like, were some other things that we wanted to talk about that have been happening recently? I know we wanted to talk about
Crypto.
all that is Doge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. We're seeing a lot of people now talking about it online, and I'm sure some people hit me up because of our last episode that we said, you know, hit us up if you need any stock advice or crypto advice.
Someone actually hit you up for
Yeah, well, a few people.
Oh, yeah?
They're like, "Yo, I saw your episode and I wanted to talk about it." So,
But
you
this is just for entertainment purposes. Anything we say on here, it's not financial advice.
yeah. So we have to say that, and just in case if we accidentally tell people to buy a company that we own, I think that's like illegal, right?
I mean, I think there's like levels and stuff. Like we can say like, hey, I think this is a really good company and I'm buying it, and you're allowed to say that. But I think like once you become like
Once
a
you
financial
own,
professional, That's when like shit gets different because then
I think also if you own shares of a company, you have to disclose it if you tell someone to buy it.
if you're in the financial industry.
Okay.
But-
Well, we'll check that out.
Yeah. But if like because that's what everybody on Reddit, like, remember when all that GameStop shit was going on? Everyone was just saying like we fucking like the stock and we were just giving our opinions. Like that's not illegal.
It's definitely not illegal to talk about stocks, but you know, it is. They try to make it illegal when you make a lot of money.
Yeah. They try to fucking put the plug back in the jar.
Yeah, but yeah, with crypto, like, you know, we were having a very good day across the board, you know, for like it seemed like weeks, you know, a little few dips here and there, but then Bitcoin hit a huge dip. Was it last night?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, so I told a few friends, you know, if you want to get back in, you know, this is a good time to buy.
Yeah, I dumped some
Things
more
like
money in
that.
last night.
Yeah, and some of my friends made some purchases, and it bounced back pretty well, right? Like
I think
last night it even bounced back a little bit.
Yeah, it started climbing back, and then I think it's back where it was last night. I mean, it's
Okay.
higher than I bought in, but
We take a quick look.
Doge looks like it's coming back. It was like 32 cents last I checked.
Ethereum is strong as hell, though. They didn't dip at all.
Yeah, they did.
Ethereum, they're at
Yeah.
22. I'm saying last night when I checked, when it was at 55 for Bitcoin, Ethereum was still at like 21. But they were at like maybe 3 months ago, like at 16. You know, they were like even lower than that. So I mean, I'm just saying they're pretty much rising steadier than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's having a little more, not too volatile, but like, you know, it's like ups and downs.
I mean, that's normal.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, that's why it's good to diversify. And I'm like basic as hell with my diversity in crypto,
Yeah.
but it's good to diversify. So if a third of your portfolio is not doing so well, maybe some of your other ones are doing, you know?
Yeah, I started
Putting in
looking.
work.
I started looking at this other one, EOS. From all the shit that I've seen on the internet and videos that I've watched, supposedly the guy who started it wanted like a more efficient Ethereum network. Supposedly it's better for the D apps and the smart contracts and shit that they want to base on the network. So I put some money into that one, and then I also have what's the other one?
Compound?
UMA.
Okay, yeah. I have some compound and
And then that XRP that I was telling you about last night. XRP honestly seems the brightest out of a lot of them because
and what attracted you to them?
so before they got sued by the SEC, they had a partnership with MoneyGram. MoneyGram was using their network to facilitate all of their cross-border payments. It was actually a decent company. Like no one would think like MoneyGram, what the fuck, like so old school. But it was actually doing really well. Some Chinese tech company wanted to come in and buy them, but they didn't let the deal go through. But anyways, the SEC wound up suing them because they were saying like as an equity they had to file certain paperwork. They didn't file the paperwork. They said we're a currency. We're not like a stock. And because of that, all the exchanges in the United States dropped them because of that lawsuit. So I had to like transfer crypto to some UK exchange and buy the XRP that way.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit how, like, when we were talking about diversifying into different stock markets in other countries, like how I was investing in that Icelandic company that I was telling you about back in the day. That's kind of pretty much the same thing you have to do. You have to reach out to, like, markets in, like, let's say Thailand and things like that, and pretty much set up with their Robinhood or a broker there.
Like Futu.
Yeah, and just pretty much, just because the thing is, a lot of people, another thing, quick nugget that we don't have to get into, but we're investing in the stock market here, but you got to remember, just like we have McDonald's here and other huge companies, there's other huge companies in Thailand, there's other huge companies in England. I think Italy has its own, right?
Yeah,
it's like a smaller stock market.
there's a ton of stock exchanges.
Yeah, stock exchanges that you can't get through E-Trade or there's some companies that they'll buy the stock from that company and then resell it into the and some stock exchanges here, like New York Stock Exchange, that'll certify other companies from other countries. So they're available, but
the American Depository receipts.
Yeah, and you can also buy the indexes that have a lot of other.
Oh yeah,
companies.
the emerging market indexes.
So those are some ways to like invest from an American outlet into there. But you can also go directly to that stock exchange and work with a broker, so you can invest in companies. Like for one that I would throw out there, I told you about a long time ago. I invested in was Top Glove, and they're in Thailand, and it's obviously making stuff out there is way cheaper, and that made a lot of money because especially that was before the pandemic, and now with PPE and stuff like that, they were producing gloves like crazy.
Another good thing about I mean, it's not good, but it's a way to get positive out of the situation that we're currently in right now. The fact that we're kind of teetering on high inflation, that deflates the debt of all these overseas companies. Obviously, the dollar was very strong prior to this. So now that the value of the dollar is kind of going down, it's deflating the debt of all these emerging markets companies. Makes for a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all been pretty interesting. Dogecoin, I'm glad, I didn't invest much into them. And, of course, Captain Hindsight would say that that's a stupid move, but...
Oh, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh, not that I didn't put money in Dogecoin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, some people did, and they blindly followed Elon, and they paid off. But and
I can't do that with my money, man.
At the end of the day, too, sometimes like these people that put the money in, they got too greedy and held it in there. Now it dipped again. So you didn't lock in the most important thing is to stay in tune with like Reddit and like Twitter and like follow the right people that kind of have your outlook. So you get kind of little tips like the week before, the week of, like big news that's coming in companies.
Discord's a good resource too.
Discord, yeah, and then you can know that the decisions you're making are pretty solid, and then from there you feel it out. You learn how long to wait to hold your money and things like that.
Did you see that you were talking about like emerging markets? There's a Vietnamese Uber type company. It's called Grab. They're going public on the New York Stock Exchange pretty soon via SPAC merger.
Yep. It's
going to be, I think, the largest foreign IPO ever in history.
Yeah, so you're going to want to grab some of that.
Yeah. I think Altimeter Group. If you just search Altimeter Group, the SPAC should come up.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people, they get too like overwhelmed because there's like so many good companies coming out every week, and it's like I already got my money in certain things, so it's like, what do you the most important thing is just put money in. Like let's say this week you're like, all right, I want to put this much money in. Either let's say if your goal is small, you have $50, you either want to buy like a low level stock, you want to buy five shares of something, you look at something that's in like the $10 range, buy 5 stock, or you could buy a stock that's like around $40 that you like, or you could buy a fraction of something big. But the most important thing is set aside some money, put some money in, and then once you have the money in, you're never gonna learn how to play poker until you play poker, with some chips. You know what I mean?
Like there's got to be some worth to it.
Yeah, once you have your money in, then you're paying attention. Value. And then when you're paying attention, you learn. So it just put some money aside, make some mistakes. Like don't put money in that it's gonna hurt you. Like don't put your rent money in.
yeah. Obviously, stay within your means.
But even
another thing too, I don't know if you ever heard that. I guess it's not a hard rule, but they say never put wager or risk more than 2% of your entire portfolio on one trade. Like 2% is the max. So it's, I mean, obviously on Reddit you see a lot of people fucking YOLOing.
Yeah.
Just throwing their entire portfolio amount on one trade. I wouldn't suggest that. I think that type of trading was born because of like sports and shit being canceled during COVID. People just wanted to fucking gamble their money away.
Yeah.
I mean, to be completely honest, that's probably why all of this is happening.
Yeah, it's true. And, yeah, man, I mean, the most important thing is to start and just start putting money in, set aside some money. Don't go out to the bar one weekend, and
do go out to the bar and just fucking, don't get that last one.
Yeah, I mean, just avoid it. Just avoid it. Don't go. You'll save yourself, $50, $100, $200. Some of my friends... some of those nights end up 200, especially if you go into the city. Oh God!
When you turn into
cranking out 300.
When you get drunk and you think you're fucking Donald Trump and shit, you're like, shots up for everybody on me.
Yeah, I get a bottle and you guys split the other bottle. And yeah, but don't get that bottle and put that money into Dogecoin.
yeah.
Maybe not now, but you get the idea.
Another. Strategy that I had when I first started, just because you were saying like there's so many different companies, it's like really tough to.
You get FOMO because your money's tied up.
Well, I mean I think like I like sector ETFs.
Well, not you, the general you. You know what I mean? Not you.
Yeah. But have you taken a look at any of the sector ETFs? Like they have the solar one, the retail one. I mean,
ETFs are great, but I know I told you I wasn't too fond. Like I wasn't too big into them. I like more like just the
direct exposure.
Yeah, direct companies. But yeah, I mean, go on.
No, it was helpful because, I mean, look, some things like EVs, solar, like all of these trending things that are, everyone's fucking getting a SPAC and everyone's going public. In those cases, like it's tough. Like you can't buy every single stock on the market.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes it's a little easier to say, hey, I'm going to buy 5 shares of this ETF. It's a weighted ETF. It fluctuates with the market, and all of those companies are in there anyway. And you probably don't get those types of gains you get from if you were investing directly, like you were saying.
But it's more consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent and it's
risky.
safer. Yeah, exactly.
Less risky. But like I was telling one of my friends, actually I'll shout him out, Chris Bolzano, aka Emergence. Shout out to Chris. We were talking about some stocks, and I told him, I mean, not that he didn't know this. This is like a general rule of life, But
yeah.
I was just saying, when we're talking about Dogecoin and putting money in it now, and now that it's already plateaued, I told him, I'm like, personally, I think it's going to go above $1 eventually. But now you're looking at more of a long-term strategy as opposed to making that quick flip when it was like 10 cents to 40 cents,
Yeah.
So I'm like, you could put money in, but you just can't expect that huge jump, It might happen again. Who knows? It could happen again and drop and then go back up past $1.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just the more risk, the more reward. But also, the more
obviously.
risk, you can lose your money. That's when people that are scared, like, I'm not putting all my money in, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
That's when you're really gambling.
Yeah, absolutely. Like YOLOing on Doge.
Yep. Colin Negron just sent me a friend request. I don't know who that is.
Colin Negron. Shout out Colin Negron.
Yeah, shout out to Colin. He wants to talk stocks probably. Or
Bro, have you gotten hit up by any of the Forex traders?
All over the place. Now with Doge exploding, I think. Yeah, and it's always like some like girl that's like business casual but hot still.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you scroll down to the bottom and it's like some like Nigerian kid with a sister.
Exactly.
I'm like, delete that photo first off. Then you'll maybe you got something going a little bit there.
Bro, I commented in a crypto Facebook group the other day. And fucking immediately had like 4 Nigerian ads.
No, the best ad recently, it's like, I see some of these ads and I'm like, how do these people are investing time into that, thinking it's going to work? The one was like, put a advertisement on your car for Pepsi Cola and you'll make $470 a week. Just comment here and it'll send you a link or whatever, like,
yeah.
Who does that? Like, everyone knows that's a scam.
Did I send you the picture? I was on YouTube.
No, sorry. I just remembered to go on. I'm going to throw the story in after.
All right. So I was on YouTube. I was watching probably crypto videos. I get this one. And you remember the Twitter hack? The Elon one?
The kid that was like
exactly.
young. Yeah.
Where like he hacked all their Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
Did the Bitcoin giveaway.
Yeah.
So the fucking commercial comes on and it's like just a random ass clip of Elon doing like some speech somewhere. And then it's like flashing a website, Elon 30, and it's saying, send us this much, we'll send you back this much. Send us like the different levels of shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
cash flip.
That's
the cash flip scam, yeah.
How do these people, like YouTube, how are you allowing that shit,
Yeah, sometimes they don't really...
The algorithm's fucking up.
They're robots, yeah. Sometimes they flag the wrong shit. This girl posted a banana and it flagged her. It was a banana with like a thumbtack in it. And she's like, what the fuck? Why did I get... I'm like, first off, why are you posting that? But, yeah, so... It was another thing that I wanted to talk about from doing my other podcast. What we were doing was we were kind of doing like... We do more freeform, and we talk about what we want to talk about, and pretty much just like, do it before the podcast, But we were doing more like these past few episodes, themes of the episode.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. But that made me think of one thing that I thought would be cool to do on this one. And I was thinking of if there was something that you've ever done that you felt bad for, that you never apologized for.
The fuck?
I mean, I know it's a little exposing.
That's deep as fuck.
But just something that you'd be like, damn, like that's really not me. But
it's the fucking
probably made me look
Dr.
like a piece
Phil
of shit.
podcast and shit now.
Dr. Hose. Yeah, you know what's funny? Speaking of doctors, did you hear that girl, the Catch Me Outside girl, You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
She's trying to sue
Danielle
Dr. Phil.
something.
She's trying to sue Dr. Phil.
For what?
Well, apparently after that episode, they sent her to one of those camps for like bad kids. And she
Oh,
said that she was
God.
like physically abused and all this shit, like by counselors there.
Bro, they probably have so
They,
many
like,
disclaimers.
They probably take them down. They like the parents sign off that they could like yoke them up and shit.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, but I mean that's still kind of abuse
I mean, all right, but what does Dr. Phil have to do with it?
because he sent her there.
Bro, he didn't personally send her there first.
Yo,
But secondly, I guarantee you he couldn't have done that without the parents' permission. Once the parents signed off, like, yo, I'm sending my daughter here, they're the guardians of her.
yo, that clip is still amazing to me. I watch it like I'll watch it like every year, like once a year, you know, like just keep up with it. They recently just made one where they did like what's that thing with when they put someone else's face on you?
Oh, a deep fake.
They did a deep fake where everyone in the whole audience is Dr. Phil. Have you seen it? And even the mom, bro,
That's
it's
hilarious.
so hilarious, dude. It's so funny. And oh my god, you gotta watch it. If anyone hasn't seen it, please watch it. It's fucking great.
Do you think we're going to get to a stage where, like, these deep fakes are, like, being used in propaganda?
Well, that's what they were already hinting at with like you know, when it was like getting really intense with like
elections
Pelosi and shit like that.
Ah.
They were saying like some of that stuff on Facebook could have been deep fake. You know, I guess I don't want to name any countries, but you know, the people who'd have the incentive to
Russia,
disrupt.
China,
Yeah, I guess yeah,
Iran.
Russia, China, Turkey. But yeah, I guess you know you always got to be careful for that. You got to go to the source. You know.
So, kind of to touch back on the crypto topic.
You just sideswipe that question. Well, yeah, think about a story that you could drop. If not, then we won't do it this episode.
Yeah, that's kind of deep. I might have to get back to you guys. No, but so you mentioned Turkey. I'm not sure if I think we might have talked about it, but they have like 16% inflation right now. And just the other day, maybe like a week ago, I'm not sure exactly, but Bitcoin took a little dip because Turkey banned the crypto. It seems a little coincidental that they would ban the crypto like right at the time, you know, there's fucking hyperinflation in their country. It seems like they're trying to prevent their people from escaping their currency, like because everybody would just go over to digital currency,
Yeah.
and fucking drop that fucking like the lira. The lira's in like shit right now. I mean, I think what makes me nervous is I think if we start getting to like serious levels of inflation and people, you know, kind of like fall out of the dollar and into Bitcoin or whatever, you know, the crypto may be, like, I don't think the Fed's going to want to like give up monetary policy just like that. I think there's going to be some regulations on the shit. People are even talking about like it's possible they could regulate gold. After World War II, the United States made it illegal to be like a private owner of gold.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna try to seize control as much as they can, but I think, I don't know. I think crypto. You know, the thing about crypto though, is let's say the worst happens, like the global warming gets worse and electrical grid shut down and stuff like that. You have to have a ledger to have your crypto, to safe, because if these places go down and your crypto's stuck in Coinbase,
you need a cold wallet.
But the problem is, then you need the grid to come back alive because you need to use that crypto using, an outlet that accepts crypto. So that's also the downside of that. But, everything has a downside, like I'm saying. Same thing with the dollar. Like, people are saying, like, the government was already trying to make its own, like, currency itself. Not only just cryptocurrency, but they were working on the Amero when the euro was
I don't think
out.
that's going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted, Canada and Mexico and South America to get on board, but
How would you even do that? Like, I wonder. Like, the peso and Canadian dollars, they're both worth less than the dollar. Like, so what do? You like average it up and that's the value? Like, how would you work that out?
I think you just convert everyone's money and just give them Ameros.
Like, would you go to like Mexico and like the $5 here that you get like a 32-ounce soda, you go down to Mexico and it's like fucking one of those mini cans?
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing like down in where is it, Georgia? The minimum wage is still like $4 or something like that.
No, it's
$5.
not.
Yes, it is. It's really low. The minimum wage disparity Hold on, look,
Dude, Atlanta's a bustling city.
bro. Well, Atlanta, but not Georgia.
What?
I said Atlanta's the main city in Georgia. You know, it's like one of the metro areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of places in Georgia that are like bumfuck dirt road.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
so
obviously.
that's what I'm saying. So the people there making like $20 a week. You know, like.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like the minimum wage is usually like a state thing.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I just looked at the minimum wage because this one girl was like, "Oh, I used to make $4 an hour." I'm like, "Bro, we live in New Jersey. There's nobody making $4 an hour." Like, I'm like, that was illegal if you were you getting paid in a check?
She was like working in a mine and shit.
She had the black lung going. Yeah, but that's why I was saying, like, people here, the minimum wage. Look, Idaho minimum wage $7.25.
Oh no, you're right. 5.15, I think. Georgia.
$5.15 in Georgia. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So that's why people are so mad. They're like, oh, if they're gonna make a federal $15 an hour, like, what the fuck? We're only getting like a $2
Oh no,
hike
look.
here.
It says here.
I mean, it was. I checked the 2000 totals.
It
So
says
look,
the federal minimum wage supersedes the minimum wage in Georgia.
yeah, federal minimum wage.
So it's
$7.25.
$7.25.
Yeah. But let's see here.
That still ain't shit.
Yeah, that still ain't shit. What's it in New Jersey right now? $11, and it just went up to 12. So now look, basically 7 is like almost half of 12. You know, it's 14 is
Yeah,
so,
a little more.
So New Jersey, we'd be getting like a $3, $4 pay increase. In Georgia, you'd be getting fucking $7.75. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then people are balling out there now. You know? They're fucking going to Sizzler tonight. But yeah, you know, it's not fair. I think should be a percentage. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but things are cheaper out there because the minimum wage is so low.
Well, that's what they wanted to do with this whole COVID shit. When they did that federal assistance, like what they really wanted to do was make it a percentage of your wages. They didn't want to just send every Tom, Dick, and Harry $600. But the fucking system was so antiquated, like it would have taken forever to fucking figure that shit out.
Yeah,
So
I mean, nice little spreadsheet could have done the trick, but
yeah, but like I guess the distribution of it, I guess would have been the tricky part. I don't know.
sounds like a bunch of excuses to me. Yeah, I'm still waiting for
Bunch of hogwash.
I'm still waiting for the what do you call it the backlash on all that eventually to hit us.
What, all the money that we've created?
All the money that
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, yeah, they created it, but pretty much the government's just printing money. You know,
Yeah.
they're just printing money, and then they figured out that they could just keep doing that, and they're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, but they can't. That's what's causing the inflation.
Well, no, I know, I'm saying, but they can though. They can't because it's gonna eventually. Like that's what I'm saying. The backlash that we're gonna get, but
I mean, I think that's what we're seeing now. The consumer price index. I mean, it didn't go up as bad as people thought it was gonna go, but I mean, look at gas. Gas is fucking expensive as fuck now.
I don't know. During the Bush days, it hit 4.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is the increase. The increase was insane.
I mean, gas was low for a long time, but we were also in wars.
I'm not talking about what it was. What it was at. I'm saying.
I
the
know.
increase,
I get
though.
you, but I'm saying like you can't have like cheap gas for your whole life. You know what I mean? That's
Why
like,
the fuck not?
because there's a cost to that.
No, but what I'm saying is that we produce a lot of our own shit here. We're like satisfying a lot of our own demand now. We're not as dependent on OPEC and all the other foreign. What's the Russian one? I forget the name. Rusneft.
Yeah, I mean,
We're not responsible on that shit like we used to. Plus, I think the whole green thing. You think it's gonna be like a? How long do you think till we have like electric cars?
I don't know. A lot of old people have to die that are like in control of these companies.
Like the fucking 1980 Buick that has like 800 miles on it.
Yeah, some shit's got to happen. They got to fucking really like the oil situation's got to fuck up, and then they're like, all right, we really need these electric cars now.
It just blows my mind. We've been like where the fuck did like? There's so much oil. We've been like burning through it for so many years.
Yeah, that's why the Earth is like fucking brittle. It's just gonna fucking collapse. Like, you know what I mean? Like the tectonic plates.
Bro, I watched one of those BBC shows with David Attenborough on Discovery Plus. There's one about the polar bears and like when they melt and shit up in the North Pole. you see the polar bears like fucking like skinny as fuck because there's no more ice for them to swim on to try and catch seals, so they're like starving.
Yeah.
There was another one. He was like fucking climbing the side of a cliff and like going for like these little bird eggs. Like he was so fucking hungry. He was like risking his life for like the fucking tiniest bit of food.
Oh man, it's sad to see. A lot of the extinction, like what really blows my mind is like how people are just like not giving a fuck about bees becoming extinct.
Yeah.
That's like the worst. Like that could set the chain of events that will be like fucked.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's something people should really get their eye on.
Bill Gates is buying up all this farmland. Have you heard about that?
No.
Yeah, he's buying up shit tons of farmland. I haven't looked into it more to find out like what he's doing or why he says he's doing it.
Probably something evil.
I imagine so.
What do you think his problem is? Why did he just fucking become like this like evil, like end of the world type of guy?
I don't know, man. Like when he used to hang out with like Warren Buffett all the time, like everybody thought he was like the nicest guy, like the giving pledge and all that. And then like you see the shit that he's trying to do with like the GMOs and the vaccines, and I'm not saying that he's trying to chip us like with these COVID vaccines or anything, but like there's people in India who are like genuinely protesting against like all of these genetically modified seeds coming into their country.
It affects their farming and things like that.
Yeah.
Their way of life, but it also affects just the right to live in general. Like they're like them having a say in everything you grow. Like that's pretty crazy. That's like a Hunger Games type of situation.
There was this woman, I forget, I think she's a botanist, but what she does is she basically goes around the world like protesting against like climate change and different issues that kind of like affect the food supply and the industrialization of it.
Mm-hmm.
She had Bill Gates' book with her on the podcast, and she showed like in the book there's like an old-timey Indian plow. And like within the book, it says we need to rid ourselves of these primitive machines. Like,
was it Vandana Shiva?
Yeah. How did you know that?
Because I've seen her talk before. Shout out to Vandana.
I've watched a lot of shit with her. Actually, she was on Russell Brand's podcast.
Nice.
You ever listen to his podcast?
Yeah, Russell Brand's the shit.
Yeah.
At first I correlated him with someone I know. And he always played that douchey role, like in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then he had that TV show on FX for a little bit.
What TV show did he have?
That was pretty cool. It was like the Russell Brand show or something, or it was like Something in Your Mind or something. I forgot the name. I'll find out right now. As I crack my margarita.
He did have that douchey hair for a bit.
Yeah. Oh man, but what's the movie with the clap?
With the clap?
Yeah, when he sings that song, The Clap. That's like his hit. He's like the rock star.
Oh, yeah. Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Is it Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Well, it's two. It's Forgetting Sarah Marshall and then Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, Get Him to the Greek is the one, yeah. When he sings The Clap.
Yeah, all this snow.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That movie's so good. One of my favorite scenes is when he fights with his mom and he calls her an old bag.
That's the what they say they call it like a Jeffrey, right? Smoke the Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's the one with the Jeffrey and Puff Daddy's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Russell Brand show, it's pretty good. And then I guess his podcast, he gets a lot more serious on like, I guess things he couldn't say on like a corporate TV, TV show.
Yeah.
But yeah, what have you seen a good one on his show?
I mean, Snowden was on it recently. Vandana Shiva. He's had Jordan Peterson on. Not that I agree with everything he says, but
it was called Brand X, the show, when it was on FX.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
It was great, and it had I think 2 seasons. But I just feel like he's not one of those guys that he can't like be a night show like a,
late night
host like have like a tenure. Like he just wants to move on to something else and like bounce around because like you could tell by the second season he was kind of like. It was becoming a bit of a chore, Yeah.
You know what was mad funny in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when his interactions with Jonah Hill. He gives him his single, his demo tape. He's like, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" And he's like, all right, run along now, mate. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, man. But
You saw I Love You, Man, right?
yeah, of course. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen any other movies recently that?
I mean, I gotta be honest. I didn't really like Godzilla vs Kong. Did we talk about that already?
No, we didn't, but I liked it.
You did?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, it's like you're watching Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not going to be Shawshank Redemption,
yeah.
you know?
Fucking the English patient and shit.
Yeah, so you got to kind of like, oh, that's another movie Brad Pitt was asked to be the lead role.
Oh.
Shawshank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just all over the place with Brad Pitt.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman.
But it's just some of the movie, you know, like Brad Pitt's really good.
No, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, that could have made him into even a bigger star, you know?
Yeah.
But you got to make your choices, you know? You make your choices. Did you ever hear about the time that he was in the car with, who was it? Remember the girl that accused Mike Tyson of sexual assault?
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it was that girl or something. Anyway, Brad Pitt talks about how like he was really high one time, and then the girl pulls up to a house, and Mike Tyson comes out, and he's just like, I guess her boyfriend, you know, and he's just like that he had never been that scared in his life. He's just like fucking. All of a sudden, Mike Tyson rolls up to the cars in the window, like what the fuck, you know?
Oh my god,
kind of scary.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It reminds me of this one time that you know, I don't really I used to partake in marijuana back in the day. And, you know, sparingly here and there ever since, you know, it's been like a good amount of years. But one night I was at a bar and I left with a friend that was there. He's like, I just got to go home real quick and then we'll come back. So I went with him and he just decides like, you know, we'd already had some drinks. So your what do you call it, is down. Your inhibitions, right? You know, so
your what do you call it?
Your what do you call it? Are down. That could have been anything. He was like my pants. But yeah, my inhibitions were down. So he's like, oh, I rolled this blunt earlier. You want to smoke? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, let's smoke because I don't smoke and I'm hot and I'm drunk already. So this is gonna be great. Like this is great outcomes coming. So we smoke, whatever. And then he starts talking on the phone, and I'm on his couch and I fall asleep. I don't realize I passed out, but. You know, so it happens like that sometimes. I wake up, and there are 3, like, fully grown pit bulls.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, one on my lap, one to my right, like, on the couch, and then one on my left, like, on the armrest of the couch. And I wake up, and I'm like, holy shit. It reminded me of, like, Jurassic Park, you know, when, like, you walk outside and there's, like, velociraptors everywhere.
Yeah.
Bro, I was so scared because I'm like, I don't want to move and then get, like, my face ripped off.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I woke up, and then I was, like, just sitting there waiting. I had to, like, sit there, like. But, you know, they were nice dogs, thank God.
Funny story about pit bulls. I'm watching the show on Discovery Plus. It's called I Was Prey. It's all about, like, crazy animal attacks all over the world.
Ooh.
So this girl starts talking, says, like, she was 5 years old. Her family lived on a farm. So, like, they were going somewhere that morning. So she walked outside thinking, like, her mother was outside feeding the horses. And when she came outside, like, something jumped on her back and just started going ham on her, bro. Like, ripped apart her scalp. Like, it was just bone.
Oh, my God.
Like, she was tore up. And, I mean, she survived, obviously. She has no hair on her head because they had to, like, take skin from, like, the back of her thighs and put it on her head. And what she said did it was a Black Panther. So then I started doing some research. Like, are there fucking Black Panthers in Texas?
Yeah.
And there aren't. There's, like, these other cats, but they're tiny as fuck, and they wouldn't have probably done that much damage. Then she mentions, like, that she thinks that the Black Panther was chased away by her brother's 3 pit bulls. When she said that, I was like, this bitch definitely got attacked by the 3 pit bulls.
Yeah, definitely. There's no panthers, yeah.
She was 5 years old, probably, like, either didn't know what happened or her parents didn't want the dogs to get killed. So
or the brother was like,
Yeah.
there was a panther in here.
Yeah, exactly.
What a shitty older brother, right? Where'd that panther go? Did you see that panther? Oh my god. What a douche. It's literally douche of the week is that girl's brother.
Bro,
just a little knee slapper. Just where he almost got him.
Fucking bro, it's crazy though that like Discovery would put that on there and like think that nobody was gonna question that.
Yeah,
like,
they were probably like the producer looked at the camera and they're like, don't say anything. Just let it roll. But yeah, I guess with that story to end off the night, I think we are ending off this episode on a good note.
Yeah.
And we didn't end it off on the Dr. Jose note with the
Oh,
story.
yeah.
But maybe we'll do one of those next time.
Yeah.
Maybe, or in the future. Start talking about some
deep shit.
some deeper stuff that, maybe we want to get out there, into the
universe.
Yeah, while not mentioning any names.
Yeah.
But, anyways, thanks so much for checking this episode out. We're revamping this because we're just starting back up again from a year ago where we left off because of COVID. Stupid COVID. But, it's going to be a lot more content coming and some advertising and stuff like that. So, yeah, stick around.
Some more gremlins, too.
Yeah, some more gremlins. So stick around. And, hopefully you'll check out some of the future episodes. Thank you and have a good night.
Have a good night.